this is something that it takes courage, and you're going right at this. I mean, you could have written this policy to say, to maintain an environment in which equity exists. No, the first line says, we're committed to eliminating race, ethnicity, gender identity, the whole thing. Eliminate implicit and explicit biases. This is a courageous policy, and that's, you could have done it another way, but you didn't, and you're to be commended for that.
As our population grew and our population started to include people of more different ethnic groups and diverse backgrounds, it became clear to us that you want all children to see themselves in the work that they participate in every day, and it's important for children of different cultures to understand and respect one another. And so there became a level of intentionality around making sure that we were deliberate in the purchasing of materials, the way we train people, and just acknowledging all the different groups of people that live and work and are educated here in Palm Beach County.
So our overall mission is really helping our students get to that world-class education and achieving equity, and equity in the process, equity in education. And that's really a three-pronged approach. So the first part is getting access to accelerated coursework and improving access. But then once all of our students have equitable access to high-quality instruction, it's making sure that the instructional practices in those classrooms are culturally responsive. And then it's making sure that the instructional materials they see are culturally relevant. So that's another part of our practice that we'll be working on. So it's really a multifaceted approach in order to achieve equity.
The process that we're seeing now is high schools leaders sitting together, talking in regards to the course offering for the students for the upcoming year. So in doing that, we want to be very deliberate and intentional in making sure that we are developing a master board that's not based around the needs of the adult learners, but particularly the needs of the student learners.
This is an analysis, a detailed analysis of the master board, which is the schedules that the students hold throughout a school. So it's kind of a forensic analysis of what percent of students are in advanced coursework overall, what are the offerings that are going to help kids earn college credit, kind of brighten their future and set them on a very positive trajectory. And then more specifically, and probably more importantly, how are we matriculating subgroups through the master board from 9th to 12th grade. So not only when a percent of students goes up in a school, that's a good thing, but is it going up because all students are increasing their access to advanced coursework, or is one subgroup accessing that, and that's masking a lack of success or lack of enrollment for others? And our goal is, if you put on a line graph enrollment of advanced students by subgroup, graduation rate by subgroup, our goal is with all those lines, you couldn't tell what group is what without a label, and that's really how we'll know it works.
When we talk about excellence, are we being inclusive of all students? And when I say all students, ethnic backgrounds, gender, whoever our students are, whatever the profile of the students that we have in front of us is, are we indeed offering courses that are taking who they are into consideration so that they can succeed academically?
Being in that class was so hard for me at first, because it was just hard to let go of my beliefs growing up. So that class, I honestly came out of it, I loved that class. That, I don't know, do you remember Dr. Karen, who was right
yes.
here? She challenged me so much that I honestly to this day, I cannot thank her enough, because that class was amazing. The fact that I was able to look at different perspectives, to this day,
So right now, as our participants are going through classrooms and doing classroom walks, they will see enrollment in classrooms that is reflective of our student body, that we didn't see that racial equity happening inside classrooms. We didn't see gender equity happening inside of our accelerated coursework, and we wanted to make sure that was occurring. Additionally, they're going to see instructional materials that are reflective of the students that we are teaching, and that's something that we're still striving for, but that are better. They're going to also see materials that might be in Spanish, depending on which classroom that we're in. If that is something that will help students better access those materials. They might see courses that are taught in Spanish if that is going to help students. So it could be an AP Human Geography course that will be taught completely in Spanish, because that helps students access that course.
So we've developed this rubric in conjunction with educators, community partners, field experts, and we've been presenting it to publishers about what we expect in the near future, depending on what the cycle is from the DOE around the next adoption cycle. So we're pretty, we think it could be a game changer of materials that we put in front of kids.
When they open those textbooks, what do they see? And that's where, the rubber meets the road, to use a cliche. So do our students, A, have high quality text in front of them? Is it rigorous and is it standards aligned? And very important, is it reflective of their lives? Do all of our students see themselves in their textbooks? And does it reflect their own life experiences? And also, does it provide windows so that they can see the life experiences of other people? Because they need both. It's the mirrors and the windows. They need to see themselves, and they also need to see the life experiences of others. And that's so important.
I remember when I came to this country, I was 17 years old. And I had a very good background of English language. However, I don't think that I would have been able to express myself in the same manner that perhaps I can today. And whenever I would hear Spanish, in my case, at the age of 17, after spending my entire day in English, after understanding everything, but perhaps I could not express exactly what my brain was processing. It was magical. Just hearing Spanish, it was like angels were singing to me. It just was, And I try to take a little bit of those experiences and place myself in the shoes of so many of our students. And I think that when it comes down to instructional materials, we can do exactly the same thing.